Hey everyone, welcome to my studio. Quick review, if you are new here, I'm partnering with mosaic artist Jennifer Freeman on this public mosaic that measures 36 feet long by about 4 feet high. It's about 3 feet on this side and 5 feet on that side, so the height varies. It's called the Landscape of Dunwoody and has these 12 panels. For now, I'm working with glass using silicone adhesive, and Jennifer is working mostly with the ceramic portion using thinset as the adhesive. So far, we have finished panels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 12. Jennifer has panel 5, and I have just finished the glass portion on panel 6. So I have 6 and 7 on my table now, but I'm going to be working on 7 and 8 this week. Here's where I'm at. You can see that this has, the glass work is done, but there's a lot of ceramic work that needs to happen on panel 6. This is panel 7 over here, which is mostly glass because it's inside these O's, which is the letters. We are putting all glass. So I have quite a ways to go on this. I will be packing that one off and moving this over and putting the next panel on here, but I don't anticipate being able to work on the next panel, maybe on the fused pieces, but not inside the other O, because this is, I want to finish this O. I'm going to start with this area. To be honest, this is the easiest one because the lead line is making everything straight. I don't have to split any of the lines. That makes it easy, first of all. Second of all, it's close to the edge where I'm sitting, so I don't have to stand up and reach, which this one is sort of in the middle of the board, so it's a little bit more awkward to reach, and I'm splitting the line. So I'm going to start with this one because it's a little bit easier, and then I'll move up. pause just a moment for glass appreciation. I don't even know what this glass is. It was in my scrap bin. That's really all of it that I had. But look how gorgeous it is. I just love the variegation. It's purpley. It's a little bit red. It's awesome. It's gorgeous. Today is the day. Jennifer is insisting that I give her this panel. So even though I'm not finished with all this business, I have to tape this seam and get these pieces that span the two panels off of it so I can move that into the car and bring it over to her. I'm using Mosaic face tape to stick to the pieces, and sometimes, even though I didn't glue them down, glue from the pieces next to them might squish out and stick to the edges. So I have to sort of go one at a time and make sure they're pried up and stuck to the tape. Then I trim the tape and label it so that I can store it until we are ready to install. Good morning.
Oh, we're filming? Good morning.
Would you like to see what I brought you?
I would.
Here it is.
Oh, good. Finally. Okay.
Here's our design. And here's the reality. Look how much we finished. Panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, panel 4, panel 5, panel 6 just needs ceramic. I have panel 7 on my bench. We have panels 8, 9, 10. This is panel 11 and panel 12. We have done more than half. It's so important to get together once in a while and just go over things to make sure we're on the same page and to make any corrections before we get much further on the project. For instance, let me just show you. 12 here, because we changed the direction of the fields, Jennifer wasn't sure what color that was. So that little portion has not been finished yet, and we have just noted that it is purple so that she can go ahead and finish it. But there's all kinds of things like that all the way down the project that just need to be buttoned up before we go much further. Take a look at this end, because this is the panel that Jennifer has been working on, and this is sort of the first time I'm seeing it with the ceramic pieces on there. And we have decided that each one of these is going to be a slightly different blend of tiles, and I think she's doing a good job going from dark to light on the sky, dark to light, even within different color families, I guess. Okay, there's one little thing she has to fix. This part cuts off, and it's part of this swath of green. But other than that, it looks really good. And I know she's super excited about getting these trees cut because she has to get the saw out. She has to get the saw out and cut those. So what we're doing is putting darker ceramic next to the upright on the W's just to reinforce that that is the letter W. Here on the D as well, just one that's a little bit darker, and then it goes lighter. And then it can do whatever it wants because it's not near the letters. We just want to make sure that the letters are reading really well. So here we go. It's hard to tell when the ceramic pieces are not on there. We have put panel 9 here. It doesn't connect to, this is panel 6 and that's panel 11. But she did do a portion of that, so we just threw it down just to show how far we are. What are you doing down there?
Well, I'm taking these off, but I got a label.
Oh, gotcha. Jennifer has her own system for labeling. Instead of writing P11 and P12, she puts an R because it's the right side of panel 11, the third piece from the bottom.
Yes, exactly.
Ugh. I know this is silly to just point out one piece, but I love this thing right here. Look at that in the sky. That's so pretty. Love it. So what are you working on now?
Well, what I have in front of me is panel 6, which we've got labeled right here. And it is the W in Dunwoody. What I'm going to be doing on this panel is I'm going to be doing primarily trees. Are done in more of a geometric kind of approach when we build them. And of course they'll fit exactly, but I'll be building the trees. Some of them will be dark, some of them will be light. And then in between them, we continue the colors of what we've got going through the whole design. Your left-hand side here on panel 5, we've got a swath of purple coming. So in between the trees, we'll be showing purple, we'll be showing green, we'll be showing a lot of different colors, but we will have trees coming up in that panel.
Thank you. Panels 7 and 8 on my workbench. Once I get all the glass in, then I'll hand it off to Jennifer and she can work on the ceramic part. Now I have just put this on the table, so now I can knock out this portion down here. I didn't want to work on it before until I had them lined up so I could get this edge right there. I'm really excited and I want to get these pieces put in place. I can't do that until the O is finished. And I really don't need to do the entire O. I just need to do this part that overlaps my bushes. So instead of mixing up thinset and working on that first, I'm going to go ahead and just use silicone and glue just this portion in place. And then tomorrow I'll get after finishing the O using thinset. And one reason I want to wait until tomorrow is because this whole area inside here, I've selected a glass that's slightly translucent. It happens to be this one. It is a cathedral glass that just looks much, much better with white behind it. You can see when it has white behind it, it just looks a lot more green. It appears much more dark when I do not have, it almost looks black on the right-hand side where there's no white behind it.
materials that we have used in the design of this project, and the choices we've made about how we lay the tiles, or the andamento that's implied, which we hope makes for significant interest in the overall design. The whole project is called Landscape of Dunwoody, and the landscape portions, which I'm showing here, are the hills and the plains and the sky. Those are all done in porcelain tile. And the method that we've used to lay that tile is a crazy quilt pattern, which you can see is that there's no specificity to the actual laying of the tiles, and the shapes are all different in terms of how they fit together, and you can see those here. Then when we get into the letters, the Dunwoody, which is the name of the city, we have very specifically chosen a different material, and that is stained glass. The stained glass is put down in squares and rectangles and is meant to be distinct from the background. And then there are a couple other things that we've done, and that is the tops of the trees shown here and the bushes in the lower left-hand corner. Those have all been done in fused glass, and Julie's has done most of, or all of these actually, and she has fused different colors together too, and it's also a very different texture. It's not a flat texture. It's really pleasing to the touch, but it's a very soft kind of bubbly texture to all of that. And so that's yet another design element that we've incorporated. And then the last one, and this one I'm going to be working on today, are the actual trees. And for those, we've used porcelain floor tiles. I cut them on the wet saw, and we've chosen to do each of the tree trunks in a very geometric design, again, to contrast with the other elements of the overall design. Big pieces, small pieces, thin pieces, wide pieces, and different colors for those trees. And I'm going to be working on that today because the W in Dunwoody is largely made up of trees. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about these different design elements and what's very specifically intended in the overall design to add texture and interest to the project.
I've got several different tiles that I'm working with, and it's very cold.
that's putting it together. Thanks for watching. See you next time.